on and go, go, go. All right, everybody, what we doing today? It's going to be, let's see. Hey. Ah, hey, everybody.
Wake up and rise, open your eyes. It's breakfast with the Thomases, the ultimate prize. Mental Wellness Monday, work it out Wednesday, pay it forward Friday. We're seizing the day. Digital finance, unlearning a love, serving food the what goes to, rising as the beat and mid Eastern on P2GTV.
Hey.
Breakfast with the Thomases, come eat with me.
All right.
Breakfast with the Thomases on Work It Out Wednesday. I'm getting it. We getting it in with Brother Max Wellness. How y'all doing? It's your girl, El Ruby T.
And we're right here with Alvin Thomas, the Gold Banker, coming to you live 1 gram at a time.
Oh, Lord. And we're here with our amazing guest, Max Wellness.
Hey, Grand
Give
Rising,
him
my
some
brother.
love, brother. Give him some
Rising,
love.
Grand Rising, everybody. I appreciate y'all tapping in today and having me here on this beautiful show with y'all. Sharing the morning.
Ah,
Rising Thomases.
yes.
Yeah.
Grand Rising family, let's do this.
Wake it up.
So I'm excited. I've been posting everywhere, letting folks know Max Wellness was going to be on the show. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I've gotten so excited is because the conversations that we have about, we're like, it's, I guess he's a part of our like mind community. We talk to y'all about that now. We talked about the like mind community. And when you are part of that, you get to have your mind expand into different spaces.
Yes.
And for us, we talk about wealth. But what is wealth without wellness and health?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where Max is. That's their brother, the king. He's the king of the wellness king. So let's get you on. Let's let him know what's
I got
up.
a few questions for you because I read some of your stuff and I'm like, okay, let's see. Let's get it on.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Get
Yeah,
on.
listen, I'm here for I'm an open book to just bring through whatever is meant to come through and answer any questions, spread any light. And yeah, just kind of get also an understanding and perceive what everybody else's sense of wellness is. Because you guys have opened my mind so much to the financial literacy, just even and again, I think that was the biggest thing when I first had the conversation with you and
Mm.
you showed me that difference between I can't even remember how I used to even say it, like financial
Ah.
whatever, and you're like
Mhm.
financial literacy, it's a language, and it just I
Yep.
didn't even think about, I can't even remember now. So that's all it is now
Exactly.
because it's the conversation. Yeah.
Financial literacy being way different from money. There's a different conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for us, it's so interesting. We connected on the wellness portion. We totally connected on the wellness portion
Mm-hmm.
because what we do is holistic. It's not something that's one compartment. We don't teach about money. We
No.
teach about leveling the field for your life so that you have wholeness.
Mm.
Every part of you is a part of it. It's mental wellness. It's physical wellness. It's social wellness. It's actually financial justice. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Economic justice found within you, as opposed to seeking it in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I always say it's holistic, as holistic financial literacy, and people
Yeah.
like, what is that? It's like, trust me, it brings you to a different place when you're in the space. So let's learn it.
Yeah.
Big time. And I love it. He's a part of our organization and our organization's learning program. You are family, darling. We have pulled you in. You are now here.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I ain't kidding. I tell y'all, I have like I said, no man or woman left behind that don't want to be.
There
Okay.
you go.
That don't want to be. And this brother is up and running. I'm so excited.
I
He
appreciate
came
it.
in, setting the fire to the community. I'm really excited. Have got other people motivated. We all in conversations. I'm like, yep, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm
Oh,
talking
but I'm
It's
like,
so funny. I've actually been having some side conversations about that, like
about.
people
Good.
reaching out to me like, oh, hey, like, what's up with this? Or, this book, or, buzzing me down with questions. And I'm like, oh, okay, great.
uh-huh.
I'm glad y'all feeling that.
That's what I'm talking
That's
about. I
that
love it.
attraction. That's the attraction.
And that is the goal. The goal of P2G was always to bring us together. That's why it's P2G networks. It's
Hmm.
not just pennies to gold, it's pennies to gold networks. We
Hmm.
all start from very small and build. And I'm like, every one of y'all become a part of our networks.
Hmm.
And not only that, you bring with you all the network of your experience. It's your whole past
Yeah.
coming in the door with you, each one of you. And I'm excited because I love it. I love asking y'all questions. Look, I'm nosy, y'all. I'm nosy and I don't care.
We
I'm
know.
nosy for the
We
good.
appreciate you.
Yes. I
Mhm.
tell folks, I'm gonna ask you questions. We're gonna talk about your dreams and your goals and the things that you want to do. And today, this brother gets to share a little bit about his business. You want to give us a little bit about what you do? Let them know what you've been up to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's such a good question because it really helps you to kind of like refine, exactly what you were talking about holistically.
Mhm.
Um, because even in my journey, it's definitely been this full circle to where I am now, and where I am now is definitely I'm starting to see the whole picture of what was becoming over all of these years, and it's been through personal training, been through massage therapy, psychology, somatics, plant medicine, all of these different things that have brought me into where I am now, which is Max Wellness. And it's really supporting and guiding people to find their own center and to fill out that whole circle so that they're not just working in one linear space. And it allows for them to see what their maximum potential of wellness is. And whether that be through them magnetizing things, through them, being electric more into the world, it's really about that aspect. And I do that through massage, through somatic work, breath work, sound healing, so many different modalities. And it really is just about the languages that we have in our body. For me personally, as a practitioner, I translate those languages, whether that be the language of, the mental body, the emotional body, the physical body. And it's always so interesting because when you think about this holistic sense and a person comes to where they're at presently, we can only really experience our present moment and our present knowledge in that, you know, in that little container that we have. And it's the nosy people, the people that come into your life that ask those questions and are curious and they wonder about things, and I really am a believer, and this is a part of the philosophy, that questions are evocations. And when we can ask somebody a question, that can evoke something out of them. It can turn over a stone that they may not have seen. Because it's like me walking into your life and into your garden of Eden, and you might just have a bunch of weeds and you're working and you're working at the post office and just doing your thing. And I come in and I'm like, hey, like you have like a patch of like old rosebuds over here. Like, did you ever use the garden? And then it just sparks this thing in your head to say, wow, like I actually used to do that. That was a passion of mine. So when I say max wellness, it's really asking the person, what is the maximum that you see this state of being well? And it's really evoking in them a almost like a call to action of, can you actually pour into that maximum amount? Because I know, as a practitioner and just as a human being, and connected to God, is just saying you're unlimited. And I know this going in, but it's like when we have that limitation, if you have pain in your body or just working so much, and you disregard that back pain or that foot pain, it's like it's not until somebody comes in and shows you something or asks that question that you go, wow, I'm actually so much more. And it kind of opens up that space, and like you said, your mind starts to expand to what your actual capabilities of wellness and your access to wellness. And I think that's one of my general goals, is to give people more ability and a bigger capacity to see their wellness potential and that they have access to it. 100%.
One of the questions I really want to ask you, and this is just me being selfish me.
Uh-huh.
I was in your paperwork and you wrote TCM, and
TCM.
traditional Chinese
Uh,
medicine.
uh-huh.
Okay.
How does that impact? How that impacted with you in relation to connecting with the people that you do work with? Just basically, don't go deep. Don't.
Yeah, I think it's impacted it by just being a foundation. It's something inside of me that I have built my foundation and my bedrock on. So everything else that you may see superficially, I can be doing, let's say, a massage with somebody.
Mhm.
I'm doing the massage, but I'm feeling the meridians and I'm taking that perspective and I have those lenses on of the practices of traditional Chinese medicine, meaning the meridians, shiatsu, the energy work, the imbalances, whether if it's Kyo, Jitsu, all of these things, and that gives me the deeper insight into them. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to be like, hey, your gallbladder is kind of jitsu right now. And you're going to be like, what do you mean by that? But
Yeah.
it allows me to translate that deeper language
Uh-huh.
to them to make it make sense for them, you know? So it just allows me to kind of refine and like polish that lens so I can see them through that because that's what I've practiced for myself to see my own depth. But it gives me that ability to translate to them a little bit clearer things that might be coming up and things that are happening in their body. And it also works in my naturopath practitioner, like my work,
Mhm.
herbalism as well, and all of those different things. So when people present with, digestive issues or, vision issues, things like that, I can offer them or recommend them certain herbs because I can already tell the sense of where they are from that knowledge of traditional
Right.
Chinese medicine. It's not
Mm.
just Western based science and it's like, oh, well, if you have a stomach ache, then it's this problem. And it's like,
Take
no,
this product.
yeah, it can be something that you may not be seeing again. And I think that's what traditional Chinese medicine has given me is an
Mhm.
ability to feel the quality of that more subtle language.
Mm. I like that.
Was that too deep or that was
No, that was actually cool. That was
okay?
really taking down the color glasses of what health is in the people's bodies. They see with another light. You know,
Hmm.
just very basic, very simple.
I think
Yeah.
personally, if our physicians had that kind of training, we would feel more confident in going to the physician, to
Hmm.
seeing the physicians that had they had that that insight or even that training in the insight in developing our insight for that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be really honest. I have a couple of doctors. There's only one doctor I will not leave my doctor. If she leaves the service, I'm going with her. And it's only reason, and she's traditional because this is a woman who makes it a point of educating me to the wholeness of a purpose for why she's even recommending this. This is
Hmm.
the first doctor I ever heard say to me that my blood pressure medication is not permanent.
Hmm.
It's not supposed to be permanent, while everybody else tells us we're going to die on this medication.
Wow.
Yeah. And then literally, we got to live through it.
Yeah.
I didn't, I
I
wasn't born on meds,
didn't sign on for that.
and
And
so there are things in your body that have to heal. And that is what this is what our Western, or is it Eastern? Which is it? The Eastern, are we Eastern
no, we're
medication?
Western medicine.
Okay, so Western medication has only been developed, and this was actually from a doctor.
Hmm.
She actually explained it's only to support the points, it's only to support the body when it's ill
Hmm.
and it's only to give it the boost to heal. Once it's healed, it should work. You don't need them anymore.
Right.
But we are chronically ill.
Hmm.
Why? Because we eat terribly, and we tell ourselves the lies that keep us eating that way.
Yeah.
And
And I think in that, just if I can kind of expound on that a little bit, because you said eating, and really, it's not an absolute truth, but what I've seen over and over again, and what I hear so much is it's less about the eating, but the consumption. Like
Mm,
Westerners have a consumption issue. There's
mm,
no temperance. It's whether if it's with information, whether if it's with food, whether if
exactly.
it's with medication, drugs, all of these things, we have everything to an excess, and that's why our body can't heal. And this is why I implement the fasting every month, because
Right.
what it does is it allows your body to just stop and come back to its natural state of coming back to the present moment. It's kind of like if you keep driving your car at 80 or 100 miles an hour and you just keep it there at 100 miles an hour, it's going to burn out.
Right.
You're
Right.
going to run out of gas.
Yep.
The tire's going to blow.
Yep.
Something's going to happen
All
because
kinds
you're
of
running
problems.
at that red line. And that's what happens with our digestive system, our immune system, all of these different systems that we're no longer connected to. And that's what traditional Chinese medicine does is it takes into account your circulatory system, your digestive system, your lymph system. All of these different systems are working inside of us, and it's so funny because when you talk about financial literacy and we're going into like crypto, we're going into the banking system and all of these different
Mhm.
systems, the way that I see it like a big body because the world is a body, but
Right.
there's different systems that's in the world, and when we can understand those systems and get connected to it, then we have a deeper understanding of our own body, So when we see a war happening over, on the other side of the world, that's a part of us, you know. It's the same reflection of this consumption that we have,
Mhm.
and if we're not practicing those things to slow that car down and come to a full stop and refill some gas and take care of our car and wash our window, how are we ever going to travel well in this world?
Oh my God.
I
I'm
like
like,
that. I like that a
it's so
lot.
funny. And this is from us traveling recently.
Yeah.
You got to set it up, prepare it, take it on the drive, and stop every so often to prepare
Yeah,
even your car and yourself.
yeah.
And that's something that I'm really excited. Max, all of this time, I'm listening to you.
Hmm.
What is your mission, my brother? What is your mission?
That's interesting because I actually just I found my mission statement from like 5 years ago, a
Mm,
couple weeks ago, and I was like, I'm gonna redo this because I wanna like I feel like the mission is was when I found it, it was kind of like this rock, like this really raw rock, and over the years I've just been smoothing it. And when I went over it again, I'm like, okay, now I'm back in New York, after traveling, overseas and like all of these things and being away. How can I still preserve that same core mission, but also allow for its impact and its effect to apply to this environment, because
right,
I can't really do the same things or carry out the same mission in Costa Rica or Mexico
right,
that I can here in New York,
right,
because of the level of receptivity and all of these things. And I would just say the mission is exactly like what I said before, is showing people a way to expand their state of wellness. Like that's what the word wellness means, and like my podcast is all
right.
about etymology. And when
Mm,
you see ness at the back of any word, it
mm,
means the state, quality, and condition of that thing.
right.
Happiness, sadness,
That's right.
wellness,
Yes.
whatever it is, that state of being well. And
Mhm.
that's what I
Mhm.
want to offer people. And that's my mission because we all have access to it. But what we have done is we've curated lives that have built up like dams and walls that have limited our access. Because when you're living, especially when you're living in a city, you have so much going on. But what do we do as a natural organism is that we adapt. We tune out the
We
the
start.
sirens down the street. We tune out
Uh-huh.
the fact that your foot hurts, but you got to get to work, so you
Yeah.
running this way, or you tune out all of these things, and there's so much noise, and that hinders your maximum capability because we're just running on that red line.
Right. Right.
So my mission is to really allow people to find ways that they can turn those walls into gates or fences and ultimately not have it, because that's what it really looks like to me is like you're a vast ocean, like I'm a Pisces, so I always go to like that ethereal stuff. Like I see
Mhm.
everybody as a vast ocean,
Ah,
and your depth is unlimited. But it's like we have built up these dams, and how can we take down those limitations? Like I remember you mentioning something like that in class about the way that we think. Like we can only, you said something like we can only go as far as like the knowledge that we have or something like that.
that's right.
And that's it. We don't realize the limitations that we put on ourselves, so we
Exactly.
can't ever access that abundance.
Hmm. Bro, look,
That's a
I
powerful
see you paying attention in class.
Oh, of course, I'm there. That's church.
That's what's up. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. Like this brothers and we share with you all that we have a 12-week course that is taking place in digital financial literacy. And everyone, like I said, y'all are all welcome. At any time you want to come in, head over to the P2G website and go sign up for the course that's currently taking place. These brothers and sisters are working, doing the work. They're working it out, learning the new things they need to learn in order to have the new information they need to excel. Now, like I said, I'm not making millionaires. Millionaires came to me. All we're doing is guiding y'all to what that looks like. And that's all we can do is guide you to what your millionaire looks like. Because
Mm,
mine is different. And I'll let you know, mine is very different. Mine is different from Warren Buffett's, then Jay-Z's, then this one, and then that one. But everybody gets there with
mm,
the same path. We have got to have financial literacy.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I learned that from them.
Mm,
And so with learning from my students, and this is interesting because it's a constant learning. Bro, you don't know how much
it's
you've opened the door
reciprocal.
to my new, you know what I'm saying? My new information. This
Yeah.
program, every single program grows from each cohort. And each cohort, along with the shift in the world and finances, actually changes the next class setup. So our next setup will have new information.
New
And if you've
information.
looked at, if you've ever been or seen any of our videos going back to the very first cohort, you'll know that each class has slight differences, and
Mm,
it actually keeps up with the world and with new learning from
mm,
the creators, myself. And I tell you right now, I'm not actually the creator. I am the conduit for the creator. Okay, I'm just a conduit.
that part.
I couldn't make this stuff up. You know what I'm saying? And I don't. So what we do is we come together. We come into a space. I get people like Max Wellness in the house, and I get to get to be in the space of opening awareness to myself. And now I'm doing things about stuff I was probably putting on the back burner. I'm one of them city people.
Ah,
I
I'm
feel
one of the
you.
ones that adapt well, and I don't want to be. I
Yeah.
need to be in the me of it all, taking care of myself and not
absolutely.
ignoring the pain.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of us do that financially. We ignore the
Mm-hmm.
pain. We adapt to the lack, the less.
Right.
And you don't have to.
You shrink
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, you shrink yourself to fit what comes at you instead of
Mm,
expanding self.
yes.
Letting the world adapt you. And that's something that I really love because I'm seeing it happen. I'm seeing you guys really grow.
Yeah.
Now, bro, what started? How did all of this get started? Talk to me about day one
That was
when you was
not.
like, I'm doing
So,
this.
so listen, I'm I'm very, very vulnerable. Like I have no problem like just being like, oh, here it is. Um, because I think it's like something that you were just saying very similar, and I think it's very important. Is like I've found that anchor to like anchor myself into me, so I have no problem like letting go and just being like, oh, because I know that I'm gonna come right back to that center.
Exactly.
And I used to actually be that guy that you went to in Westchester, in Yonkers, for every house party,
What?
Oh,
for
He said house party,
nutcrackers,
y'all. Y'all heard it.
everything. Listen, I used to rent
Oh,
out apartments for
uh-huh.
like a month, like have a month lease, and I used to throw parties from Wednesday to Sunday. And then
What?
from Sunday to like Wednesday, I would go to the beach like every day. I would be selling nutcrackers, and like that was my business.
I think
And
I
I
can
was just the party
Yeah.
guy. And it's so funny because I had this alias. His name was Sebastian, and
Uh,
everybody just knew me as Sebastian.
Wow.
I would be literally in parties and people be talking to me like, yo, bro, like Sebastian throw these crazy parties. Like I heard he's doing this other party over here, talking to me. And I'm like, yeah, sure.
You became a thing. You became
Right.
a thing.
And I
So
remember
he
this
branded.
one place that I had. It was like a duplex. And I woke up in the morning and this place was right next to a White Castle. And I
Mm,
never ate White Castle like the burgers and stuff, but I ate the chicken patties. And I woke up and I had, those the little sleeves that they come in,
yes.
you know, and it was like five of them on my bed. And I woke up and I just looked in the mirror and I heard
Mm,
this voice that was like, it felt familiar,
mm,
but it was again like this thing that I knew was kind of like nudging me through my whole life, but
yeah.
I was also ignoring. It wasn't like in league. And it said so loud, you cannot live like this.
Mm,
That's all I heard. And I
mm,
felt my body shift and I was like, yeah, nah. And
mm,
I'm telling you, it wasn't like an ego thing. It wasn't anything like that. I was looking in
right.
the mirror and you couldn't tell me I wasn't the sexiest fat dude alive. Like I had all the confidence in the world.
I know, right?
That was no problem for me, but it
Right.
felt deeper. And from that moment there, I didn't know what to do. I never, was into wellness, never
Right.
like everybody around me eating Chinese food and, caridad and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
I was like, I'm one, stopping drinking. Bread, I know is bullshit. So I'm gonna stop doing that. I'm
That's
gonna stop
right.
eating fast food
That's
and I'm
right.
gonna start there. I didn't know anything. So that's why like when a lot of people come to me and they're like, oh, but I don't really know what to do in the depths of me, I'm like, that don't matter. That
Yeah.
don't matter. I know that that's an excuse. You're just telling yourself that you don't know, but
Mm,
you do know.
yeah.
It's just that you haven't had the right questions to like turn over those rocks,
Come
Really?
on.
And I think that's what
I'm talking about.
community does is
Yeah.
because when you're in a community of a bunch of people that's in the streets and they just doing the same thing,
Right.
they're not going to ask you those questions because they got the same rocks.
Yes.
But when you start getting connected with people that ask questions like, yo, why is that rock there? Like, I
Mm,
think that there's something under there. Like, why don't you turn that rock over? And you turn it over and it's like a bunch of seeds. And then you're like, oh shoot, I can plant something.
yep.
So from that day, I just I just worked on nutrition and diet for like 6 months. And I lost about like 54 pounds. And then I was doing a lot of reading. Everything was self-education. Like I love to read.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've been huge on is like self-education. And after 6 months I was like, okay, you know what, like I know enough about movement where I'm gonna take 30 days
Mm,
and I'm gonna just go to the park and I'm gonna go for 2 hours. Like I'm not gonna tell myself like, oh, you're gonna do 10 sets and but no, I know that it was something for time that I needed to like shift something.
mm.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go for 2 hours. I'm gonna do as much calisthenics as I can. All I did was push-ups, pull-ups, dips, and squats. That was it.
Wow.
And I would do one set of like 10 pull-ups and then 10 dips and then 10 squats or whatever, and then it'd be like nine, and it'd be like
Mm,
six, and it'd be like three and three and three, but I kept doing it until that
right.
2 hours was done, and then I left the park,
And you
and I
stay.
did that every single day for 30 days, and I had people through that whole month, yo, bro, like you need to rest, you need to give the muscles time to relax and heal, and yo, you got but these are dudes that have, 40s in their hand, or they just been chilling on the block all day. And
Mm,
it's like, don't tell me what to do because you don't know.
exactly.
And
Yes.
I
Amen.
had to do something to break my mind, to
Mm,
Mm,
break out of that mold and that shell that
that
yes.
shift.
Sebastian that I
Shift.
protected myself with. I had to crack that shell so that I, as Maxwell, could emerge, you know?
Right.
And after the 30 days, I looked like an action figure. Everybody was like, oh my God, like, how'd you do this? And I started getting into the gym and then I started feeling more comfortable with weights.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just all progressed from there. And once I became a personal trainer, I knew that I wanted more and it was more to the body. And then I went into school for health science, got licensed for
All right.
got my degree, and then I got into like Chinese medicine and everything, and then it just spread because I knew that I didn't want to do clinical psychology. I
Right.
thought I wanted to do that, but it felt too
I was
linear for me.
clinical psychology.
Yeah,
You know
like
that's it.
even when I graduated school early, like I had it in my head that I was going to be a forensic psychologist.
Mm.
So once I got to John Jay, I did a semester and I was like, yeah, no, no, thank you. I'm gonna
Wasn't for you, huh?
absolutely not, because I like exactly what you said. Like in P2G networks, like I love the network, that
Yes,
spreading, that naturalism of things.
that's right.
Everything felt like after school they were kind of tailoring you to go this one way, just like your physicians, and say
Exactly.
like, oh, if you're presenting with this, then it has to be this, and it's like, no, everybody's different. Just because they're presenting with the same thing, let's
Doesn't-
figure it out and see
Exactly.
what works for that person.
Doesn't mean we'll automatically go this way.
Yeah, and
Right.
Yeah.
when you're in school, they have, for lack of a better term, a cookie cutter program for everybody.
We're on
Absolutely.
a track.
Everybody's on this. This is what if you
Hmm.
took this, then
Right.
this, then this, and there's no
And
other. Like you said, there's no other way to go.
yeah, and that was exactly my term when I started to develop my business. It was kind of like this. It was that growing into me and then finding out like, oh, you have to go through this personal training and massage and sound
Hmm.
healing and all of these things to come into that full circle. But when I
Right.
first started, I was always telling people, you're not going to get a cookie cutter routine from me. People that were personal training with me, I'm like, our first week, our first 3 sessions, we're going to figure out where your body is, what movement, and then I'm going to create something for you, and then stuff to do at home so that you have no excuse. And we're also going to be doing the stuff here that you need assistance with,
Right.
because it's a growing organism and you have to grow for yourself. And that's how
Maybe.
I got to where I'm at now, is sustaining that frequency.
That's the stuff.
And when you were saying that about the financial literacy here and like opening your mind and
Mm.
being in that reciprocity, that each one of us is growing, that's
That's
a frequency that people have. And that same ignoring process that they have in their life, that's the same ignoring process that they have with
right.
the world,
Exactly.
and that's
Come
because of
on.
the frequency
Come
that
on.
you're holding on to.
That's
And
right.
if I have it in the world, then I'm also going to have it with my finances, and I'm also going to have it with my family issues that I'm
Ah,
dealing with.
come on.
And
Yes.
that's how
Okay.
we
Okay.
stay
Let's
in
go to
that
church.
ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Habits
think that
trace.
is that deeper sickness and that illness, rather.
Yeah. That's
And
what's
it
up.
starts to become chronic because that's the
Well,
chronic frequency. We're holding that frequency for so long, and it's
yes.
like you have to let go of it at some point and shift it and change it. But how?
So you really making me feel so good right now because I'm like, oh my God. It's great when you start hearing your students speak your own words.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying because you're speaking about wellness on one level. I
Hmm.
speak about wellness on another level. It's all the same thing. It has all the same root.
Hmm.
Us, the individual, you, that
Hmm.
frequency you put yourself on. And I call it habits. Habits
Hmm.
and frequency. It works, they all work the same way.
Hmm.
Whatever habits that you cultivated in one area will always resonate in every other area. You are the same person every scenario you go into
Right.
until you shift like you said, until you shift that
Hmm.
frequency from within.
Hmm.
It's not just skills, it's not just knowledge, it's the whole shebang.
Yeah.
Listening to you talk about your making your choices with your health and shift, I'm like, my brain started a movie.
Yeah.
My first day, I lost in 2012. Actually, it was leading up to 2012, about 2008. I started wanting more. I didn't notice I had ballooned up to almost 400 pounds.
Wow.
I'm only 5'10".
Hmm.
And don't get it twisted. Like you, my brother, fully active in the community, doing stuff. Just I was dwindling down.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting tired. Guess how old I was? My 30s, in the early 30s,
Wow.
late 20s, early 30s. And why am I slowing down like a grind?
Yeah.
I got tired. And that day, I think everybody has to write. You gotta look for that day. I pray for the day when you wake up,
Hmm.
when your true awakening comes, because that's how I define that day.
Hmm.
That day when that's something that snap and
Hmm.
you're right. You start asking the right questions.
Hmm.
My first questions was, how did that happen to me? How did I get this way?
Yeah.
And I was in a mirror. I was in a mirror, and I'm no shame in my game because, like I said, I have nothing to hide. I was butt naked. Got out
Mm.
the shower. Not like I never did this before. Like it
Yeah.
had never happened.
That's interesting because I had just got out the shower. I mean, I wasn't butt naked, but I had boxers on, and I remember that feeling like after waking up and getting in the shower and coming out and just, and it was like the mirror just called me, and I just looked and I was like,
Yep. I
and
think,
I was,
exactly. Who the hell is that?
Well, that is
How did
the
this
mirror, yeah.
happen to me?
mm-hmm,
And then you have a position where as you can say it's something else is responsible or you
take
finally
that
come through.
responsibility.
It's like I'm gonna do so. I'm not doing this. I'm bigger than this. I'm stronger than this. I can do something.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been ripping and roaring. Baby girl is, like I said, I'm so grateful. I had surgery. I got help.
Mm-hmm.
I started seeking help for the first time, trying things like that. I did all the traditional stuff. I did
Yeah.
everything, and it didn't work
Yeah.
until I did something. That's one of the reasons why I love you so much because you remind me of my very first life coach.
No.
She spoke to a soul I didn't know I had. She felt so bad because she was like, I really wanted to work with you on your weight more. I ultimately had bariatric surgery. I do not recommend that for everyone. It is a life decision. It is not the easy way out. It's
Nope.
just a different path I took.
Yeah.
And it's very different. Everybody, don't get it twisted. It's not cookie cutter at all. Don't you get
Yeah.
that twisted. It's
Yeah.
different experience for each person. But I had to have the tools. I had to develop me.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I had to own and love myself a different way. I had to shut out the rest of the world that's being responsible for anything that happens in this body.
Mm-hmm.
And even to meet Max, because I'm looking forward to it. Look, I'm gonna show y'all why Max is coming. I'm getting ready to hire Max.
Well, we're in that. We gotta shout out our
Oh, we got some
platform.
shout outs. Yes.
We're on multiple streamers. Yeah, we got our people here on Clapper. We
Woo.
got our people on Stereo, and we got the Gold Empress who wants to reach out and text
Yes.
you. So let's give her some light.
Hey.
Grand Rising.
I just want to say Grand Rising.
It's one of the grand.
Love it.
All right,
Love
and also we got Miss Griffin who says peace and blessings. She's in the house with us now. Anyone have any questions for Max? I want you to put it up. We will play the message and Max will answer them. That's the
Absolutely.
blessing of being in this in a stereo, in our type of streaming because we get to interact.
it. Yeah.
Guys, if you had a moment, if you're dealing with something, y'all want to share what's happening in your life or what has happened in your life, this is the place.
Mm-hmm.
This is the time. In this area of wellness.
Well,
Some of
yeah.
y'all need help. Y'all need support. I should say support because ain't nobody got to help you. It's you.
Right.
You're already there. You are the ultimate help. And what happens is that this brother does an amazing business. Now, I got to show you off. I'm going to show him off a little bit. You mind if I show you off?
Go ahead.
That's what he do. That's what he do. Oh, gosh, I love this. All right, so I'm going to stop this because I want y'all to be able to use that QR code. Here, let me get my little media down. All right, so this is Max's site. His flyer. Is it a flyer, a digital flyer that you
Yeah,
use?
this one is more of just something I share for the somatic massage services that I offer. This is something that I do a little bit more private and in person. So I travel to homes and we do like full 90-minute or 2-hour consults, and then it's also
Mhm.
somatic massage. And for those that don't know what somatic is, it's another form of your body. It's the emotional body. So soma means body, and it's that automatic system that is behind. So this is dealing with like how you feel things, how you taste things,
Mhm.
singing, chanting, sounds, like how that vibration actually affects your body. That's the somatic experience to actually feel it. Like you can get a massage and it's like, oh, like this person touching on me. But touching is very different than feeling. And
Mhm.
that's what those experiences are about. It's about looking at deeper, okay, where is that pain in your back? Maybe that pain in your back is actually your kidneys, but you
Mm.
haven't felt deep enough into the organ. You just say, oh, it's my muscles, it's my back. And it's like, sometimes it's not that. So with the somatic massages, we go a little bit deeper into the process of where that pain is rooted.
All right, and now we're getting. Look at this. I knew this was gonna happen. We getting a lot of requests. Let's get you. Let's go get some questions. Okay, here we go. All right, I'll bring you up the other one in just a minute. Miss Shelby wants to know something, and Miss Kim is
I
gonna
was
answer.
gonna say more than Grand Risings, but I was just waiting for you guys to finish. But I don't know. I like this
Mhm.
talk today because, as you know, Miss Ruby, Eastern medicine is. Oh, sorry. Eastern medicine is something that I've been looking at for quite a few years. I've actually taken alternate therapy
Mm,
uh, courses and everything for like massage therapy, essential
Mhm.
oils, aromatherapy, reflexology, um, different things like that. And it's crazy that he said something about he wanted to be a psychologist at first because that's that's what my
Her major.
minor was in
Mhm.
college whenever I first started to try to be doing teaching and stuff.
mhm.
So
Mhm.
um, this is also something that I study on my own. So and the holistic way is actually really good. I actually also apply it,
1 second. She has another bubble.
and I also use binaural beats for sound healing. That's actually what helped me a whole lot with my uh, after my brain operation. That's
Hmm.
one major way that I helped myself heal.
Amazing.
Okay,
She
okay.
has definitely come through a lot. That's our
Yeah.
that's our one of our co-hosts on stereo, who
Okay.
happens to be
Beautiful.
listening today. She's doing her
Love
thing.
it. Love it.
She has come through a whole lot, and I can tell you through natural sources, holistic learning to
Mhm.
apply for herself. She's
Yeah.
when we talk about, we'll be sharing Miss Shelby on the show very soon because I've been
Mhm.
trying to pull her in, trying to keep her reined in, trying to get her up on this particular platform so
Yeah.
she can share what she's shared over the years with us. You
Mhm.
know, people stick and stay with the Thomases and P2G for great reasons. We are a growing family of people. We're not just a bunch of people who have something in common.
Nope.
We have a oneness and understanding that your problems are what the world is about.
Mhm.
Working through issues is how life works.
Yeah.
And when you have others who are doing that, and we're all healing and growing. Now you got a community.
All got to work through that one.
I was
Sure.
actually just sharing with a friend yesterday about meditation, and I find so many people have disharmonies with it, or they don't understand it, or they're like, oh, I can't do it, and all of these things. And I was just telling her, I was like, when we meditate, we think that it's for us.
Mm,
It's really not. It's you accessing a place to choose in this moment to send out those vibrations. You can pray for other people across the world or whatever the case may be,
mhm,
but
mhm.
that meditation, that choice that you tell yourself, I have the ability to respond, and this is how I'm going to respond. I'm going to respond in silence. I'm going to respond in peace. And you connect to that, it not only affects you, but it affects your immediate circle, it affects your community, it affects your collective. So it's
Mhm.
like when a bunch of us are coming together, even if we're talking, even if we're choosing a topic and we're dissecting it and we're moving around it and doing all the things, that is meditation. People think meditation is like, be quiet and find your space. And it's like, that's not it. That may work for some people that need to slow
Yeah,
down, they need to find silence. Absolutely. But
exactly.
meditation can also be you walking, by you being, having your headphones out and just being present in that moment. That's what it's
Right.
really about. And especially when we have these conversations, that's what
Mhm.
shifts
Right.
everything out around you. So, like I always, when I'm about to go to the gym after this call, right? And I've 2 months ago when I was coming out of my fast, that was something that came in very quick. It was like after every exercise you do, after every movement, do your meditation, five
Mm,
minutes. And I will sit there in the middle of the gym after I get done doing some crazy stuff. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, and I go through my movements and I sense, I do my Tai Chi or whatever, and I do my little prayer and boom, I'm done. But I'm also very aware of how that affects everybody around me.
yes,
The people in the gym, the people
Yeah.
outside,
exactly.
and
Yes.
that's what it is. And I think that's something that we have forgotten about community, is how impactful it is when we come together, because
Yeah.
that is the healing. And when we start to look at the things in ourselves and ask those questions and step into those communities and those spaces and those rooms, that it really brings up those hard questions, those things that we've been ignoring and sweeping under a rug, and we tell
Right.
somebody to come in the house and they like, yo, what you got under your rug? And they start cleaning it out, and they're not shaming you, they're not blaming you, being like, oh, you broke, you need financial literacy because you broke. And it's none of that. That's you
Yeah.
telling yourself that because you want to
Right.
keep ignoring it,
Ignoring
that you
it.
dirty and you got your stuff tucked under your rug. But if a
Yeah.
person comes into your house and you have that community, that because we have been broken up from that tribe sense, and it takes a
Right.
village. So
Yep.
now when we have these communities that come together, and like you said, we're like-minded, but that reciprocal energy is still moving, we have no choice but to grow. And the more that we grow, that's that
Mhm.
impact and that same vibration of that meditation going out into the world.
Thank
And
you.
it's shifting our community, it's changing those social, political, economic, geographical issues.
That's
But
me.
if we don't think that or believe it, that's something that's not going to shift our habit. And there's something in, she was mentioning about psychology, right? And then you were also telling me something about behavior. And no, you said habits.
Habits.
And there's something in cognitive behavior therapeutics, like CBT is one of the certifications that I have, that
Mhm.
you strung out this process. And we mainly live in these two processes, which is action and behavior.
Mm.
And
Mm.
there's action in the physical, then you have behavior. But what creates the behavior is your habits. But
Mm.
your habit is
Mm.
created from your thought, and your thought is rooted in a belief. So, really, there's a process that comes from your center. Like, if this is the center of you, right?
Right.
And it's moving outwards to all of this, which is all of your actions. And this is where most people live their life because they never settle into their center.
Mm.
They're living in their actions. Oh, I got to do this. Oh, I got to go here. Oh, I got to go to this appointment. Oh, I got to do that. But when you go one step deeper, you go, oh, I got to change my behavior. Okay, I got to stop eating, terribly. But then they just come back to here. But
Mm.
once you go back to that, you say, okay, well, what is that habit that I have? Oh, okay, every time I get stressed, then that's when I eat. Okay, let me go there. Okay, when you go to the thought, oh, why am I thinking that I'm stressed? And then I
Mm.
have that stress connection to eating.
Mm.
Oh, okay,
Mhm.
it's because I think that
Thank
food is gonna soothe me. Oh, okay, let me go down to that thought. Now,
Yes.
why do you believe
You.
that food is going to soothe you?
You.
Oh, I believe that because every time when I was a baby or when I was 7 or 6, mom and I used to cry, my mom used to put something right in my mouth.
That's right. The
Now I have to shift
connection.
that belief
Yes.
to uproot that weed that is growing in your garden of Eden so that something else can grow from that,
I love
and
that. I
things
love
start
that.
to change. And that's what cognitive behavior therapeutics is about. It's about going down deeper than the beliefs and shifting that one belief. That one belief can change so many things, but we never take that time to go the other layers. We just focus on our behaviors and our behaviors and our actions. And
Mm.
that's why so many people
Mm.
don't correct their eating because they change they might stop, eating Cheetos. And then they're
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm not losing weight. I'm not getting the result. Oh, I might as well just go back to it. And you fall back into it.
Right.
But it's like you didn't actually go down into it and
Yeah.
say, oh, and you were talking about that with saving money. It's like, what do we believe about money?
Right.
If we just keep saying, "Oh, I'm gonna put $10 away every month," and then you start doing that, and it's like, "Oh, well, in 5 months, I only got $50. Oh, this ain't enough," and then you go back into that lack, and then you stop
Like I
doing
could just spend it. It's all right. It's not
it.
that much. It's like,
Yeah,
but
right.
it can be a
It's
foundation
that
that
one
you're not
decision.
right. And
Yeah.
so, oh God, I switch. I wish we had more time with you. We got to do a part two. I want to make sure we answer the questions that are in the space. We do have some here. Miss
Yeah,
Kim,
sure, sure.
Miss Kim, welcome. We got family out here, and she's got a great question. Do you have a nutrition plan? She wants to know.
I have a plan for my nutrition. Yes. As
Okay.
far as showing people what nutrition is and like nutritional education, that is definitely counseling that I do for sure.
Mhm. Okay.
To help to support you in finding out what is your relationship with nutrition, you know, because it looks like many different things. So there
Mhm.
are courses that I have that I've set, for fasting. There are detox programs that I have, like things that I've created if you're looking for a product. that is something that, it's kind of already drawn out.
Right.
And that is somewhere to start if that works for you. But if
Right.
you're looking to develop something for your lifestyle, then yes, I do nutritional counseling, and then I build out a nutritional program for you for
Mhm.
6 weeks. And that's something that I also give you the availability to um, tweak it a little bit after, but it's to get a basic understanding of how do I relate to nutrition and what are my habits right now. You build
Mm,
something around that to see about a structure that you put in place for 6 weeks. And then after that 6 weeks, then you have the ability to adapt and shift it to carry it on so that you can still keep progressing.
she says
Okay.
thank you.
You're so welcome, Kim.
Also, and that I like that, and thank you for commenting on the community. She's one part. Like I said, she's a part of our community. We
Mhm.
don't have members for your membership. You have a lifetime membership with P2G. That's why we tell you to go to the website and sign up. Even with the new website, you will also be a free member. Everyone gets exposure and access to P2G's network from the get go. The classes and stuff you sign up, tuition, it's just like going to a college campus. You can go on the campus. You're welcome to come. Enjoy the amenities. But
Mhm.
if you're going to go to a class, a focus class, you're going to invest in the platform.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That's when you invest. And you will know why. Because we share each other's goals. When you see what's available, you're looking at us like, wait, everything comes with that? Yeah, it does.
So I got a question for
We
you.
got
Now.
one
Yeah,
more.
one
Before we
more.
go, we got a couple more
We're
questions, but
just
we
the
got Miss Shelby.
collective who's
Yes, sir. Let's do it. Give me
raising vibrations of the entire race here on Earth because,
Mhm.
and that's why a lot of the codes that are part of the consciousness, that's why a lot of the codes are being released. Some people get them as audible, some people have vision, some people just have this place of knowing things that we don't really necessarily know exactly where they came from, but it's from our DNA, it's from our actual histories that the quote unquote elite or whatever that the powers tried to hide from us and tried to erase from our memories. We're all remembering again, and when we meditate, it helps that remembrance come to being clear a lot easier.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, okay.
Interesting statement.
Yeah.
Being able to access things that are in us, and that's what she's explaining about your meditation, that you're accessing parts of ourselves that have either been, like we said, we put it aside.
Yeah.
We've been taught to put it out.
Yeah. And I think the question in there is, again, it comes down to accessibility. Like, what is my ability to access this information?
Come
And I
on.
think a lot of times in the spiritual sense, when people are connecting to that, my whole thing, I'm very much a practice person. I'm very much disciplined. I'm very much
Mm,
structured. Because if we can have access to the whole ocean, but if we don't have a cup to take from and to drink, we're gonna be thirsty. So for
exactly.
me, it's understanding the releasing of that suppression and that idea of suppression, acknowledging it and being like, oh, y'all was trying to hold these, but
Hmm.
now I have access to it.
Right.
And what she's kind of speaking to is something like in sacred geometry, it's like your Merkaba, you
Hmm.
have like this spiritual kind of like structure.
Right.
And you can think of it, just something like this, like a cup. And I always tell people that of you can have a cup or you can have a colander. But if
Mm,
you have a colander, you're still not going to be able to hold water.
right.
It's an idea of how do we plug up those holes, and each meditation does that. It's
Yeah.
a plugging up of those holes so that that constant energy and that information that's coming in, and like she said, these codes that are coming in, they're able to fill you up, and
Mhm.
that's the real abundance, you
Mm,
know. So it's just kind of creating a practice about that you have to keep plugging up those holes that
right.
somebody else may have done that, but what am I going to sit there and be like, oh, well, they put holes in me, they made me forget, they were trying to suppress us, and they is you.
Exactly.
Hey,
Oh my
you.
God. They is you. And exactly. We take on to ourselves the new responsibility of moving
Mm-hmm.
this thing we call our
Absolutely.
life.
Mm-hmm.
It's your life. They is now that you know, once you become, and oh, good Lord, this comes back. Ooh, Once you become aware, it is no longer anybody else's game.
Mm-hmm.
Awareness changes the position of actions.
Mm-hmm.
Action. You get to choose what happens now.
Mm-hmm.
Taking action will always negate the they in your life.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be no they. This is it's like, and we right back to financial literacy.
Yep.
Right back to we and y'all get how this is everywhere.
Yeah.
Financial literacy, wellness, health, everything, communication, relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes,
I
really.
think personally, everything is about relationship,
Yes,
and
it is.
that's what I go into my main counseling. I have another framework besides TCM.
Yeah.
It's something with these spiritual teachings that I went to different jungles and mountains and study with elders, and it's this spiral process of
Uh-huh.
understanding in the elements and how we go to. But in a short story, it comes to the center, and the center is that relationship, or like the fifth element of spirit. And when you connect to that and you move in that level of reciprocity, you start to understand that you, your daughter, your husband, the orange man,
Right.
the Chinese consulate, all of these people are God. So if they are God and I have a disconnection from them, or I don't like them, or I hate them, then you're not seeing God. If you don't see God in one thing, you don't see God at all.
That's
And
right.
that
Wow.
that right there has given me so much more ability to respond to things, that I can have that acknowledgement of what you're doing I don't agree with, but
Right.
that is also showing me another level of me that I have access to balance out that scale, because
Mm-hmm.
there's always that balance. So if I
Mm-hmm.
see that terrible, that means I'm over here. What can I do to step up and rise in power to balance
Okay.
that?
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Oh
it's
my
about
God.
relation. How do you relate to those things?
We haven't even gotten through half of our questions. I'm so excited.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. So we're gonna kind of have to jump into it. If you had to, actually, I love this particular question. Your philosophy.
hmm.
What is your philosophy today, and how has it changed since that day that your epiphany day, your first question day?
I forgot what I wrote down, but I'm gonna keep it short and simple.
Okay.
Stay in wonder, because the
Mm,
more that you wonder about something, the more you come towards oneness.
oh my gosh.
That's it.
So
That's it.
stay
Keep
in
asking
the
questions. Yeah, that has been one thing that I was as a kid. I always wondered about stuff.
yes.
The more you ask questions, the more you're going to receive. So you
Childhood,
go through that process of listening.
the
And
childhood entity. Love that. Love
Hmm.
yes, that I keep your childhood active. Keep that child in you active in the world, and you will grow and you'll continue to build the world around you. Oh
Now
my
that don't mean stay immature, because
that.
some
No.
people like, yeah, some people they like, I
Yeah,
was just here,
they,
I'm just gonna do whatever. Like,
yeah, they got
grow up.
questions, but no real goals to them.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So, brother Max, what's next for you?
Yes.
What's
What's
next on your
next,
agenda?
brother? What's
Oh
happening?
wow, this
Busy
this
getting these pots.
year.
What's going
Um,
on?
so I always start my year with the equinox, so it's gonna be starting in March, and that's
Right.
where everything is gonna start progressing for me, and I'm gonna start watering the seeds that I'm planting right now. And this year is going to be the launch of. 'Cause I've been doing retreats up until this point and kind of refining like what that's gonna look like. And what I developed, this vision that came to me last year sometime, was a series of retreats. So,
Okay.
kind of giving people this understanding of, it's not just one big retreat and you go for like a week or 2 weeks or whatever, and then you don't go for another 2 years. You
Wow.
know, we're going to start doing, and I'm working with a couple other people to launch these series of building it up. Like the first one will be maybe 4 days, and it's going to be very grassroots. Maybe a pilgrimage to Colombia,
Mm,
doing a retreat here in New York, like just going upstate. I'm starting a men's retreat that we can just go, and it's going to be very ground level, just introduction. And then 3 months later, doing a deeper retreat,
mhm.
something a little bit deeper into maybe somatics and sound work, stuff like that. And then ultimately building up to the plant medicines and building your relationships with those and understanding it's not just saying like, oh, I heard this thing on Instagram and I'm gonna go drink some ayahuasca,
Mhm.
and you don't have that integration, you don't have that anchor. So it's building up people and building that relationship to what it actually means
Right.
to have a retreat and to go into yourself so that you find that center and you can start to build and build and build. And you're also on a journey with these people that are doing the same exact thing and
Exactly.
growing with you.
Right.
They're just learning journaling. They're just learning how to breathe. They're just
Right.
learning nutrition. They're just learning movement and they grow with you. So they're going to be a little bit, more economic for people to function rather than going down $6,000 to go somewhere. And it's like, that's too much. I don't think healing should be transactional. It should be reciprocal. And to understand that we're giving that, and
Well,
that's what that energy is going to be about this whole year. So
do you
that's
know where you're gonna do it in New York? Because you know I'm down.
not yet. So I have
Good,
like a
because
couple
I have a,
places
I have
I'm
a.
looking
We
at.
just did one, and I'm really excited. We got a referral. I was like, ooh. I was
Yeah,
just thinking, I'm gonna go, and if I don't know about the one in where did you say Columbia?
in Colombia. Yeah.
I'm a little scared. You know, I'm working on it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get out there.
I
What are you
like
saying?
Colombia.
I'll use my passport at least once.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm so looking forward to this. For those who want to keep up with Max, Max, can we give them your should
Yeah,
they
let's
use
go
the
to
QR
give them
code?
everything. Give them everything.
Yes.
Well, you can do the barcode for the website into like book sessions. But you can also find me on Instagram. I'm not crazy active on there. Uh,
Okay.
I usually share like little tidbits and stuff like that. And also my podcast on YouTube. It's on Substack, uh, Spotify, all those good things. And that is called Frequently Speaking. But pretty much anywhere you can find me is it's Max Wellness, ITS Max Wellness. So there you see it at the bottom.
No.
And yeah, that's pretty much wherever I'm at. And again, everything has links to it. So you can
Right.
always feel free to shoot me an email, ask me any questions. We can set up a consult call and go
Good.
from there. And let's start to see what your journey to your max wellness looks like.
That's right. That's right. I'm so
Nice,
looking forward
nice.
to it. We've got so many more events to come. I'm so
Mhm.
excited. See you in class, my brother. Thank you so much
Absolutely.
for sharing with
I
us,
appreciate it.
and have a wonderful day. Whatever you do going forward, just be with it. I'm loving it. And all
You
of
as
you
well.
all as well.
Most
We
Yes,
want
I'm
to say
wishing
thank
all of you that tapped in today
good.
a beautiful, blissful, peaceful day.
you. Yes,
Good.
thank you so much. And here we go, y'all.